Hey guys, Clark Kent here, coming back with another downtown version of what we're going to do while we're on lockdown. Hopefully that's coming to an end with Jacinda's announcements. But anyway, to give you a break from that slog, Brandy's asked me to put together just a bit of a core routine. Now remember, this should come after 20 to 40 minutes of exercise at 50 to 60% of your max heart rate, which can be just a reasonably vigorous walk, a bit of a jog, or some other activity that you enjoy. So bear that in mind. What we're going to start off with, pretty simple, is focusing on the back in particular, okay? Because most people just whack away at their frontal abs, in particular the six-pack, and forget that in order for you to function without back pain and for your body to work well, you need to have a strong back as well. So what we're going to start with here is a basic bridge. So remember, head on the ground. I'm going to lift it off to talk to you, but it should be on the ground. Okay, arms can be here or here or here, depending on the level of strength that you have and your stability in your back. So very simply, starting off, butt in the air, tighten your glutes, the lower part of your back and even your mid back there. Okay, that needs to be kept tight and locked. You can do this for 30 to 60 seconds. Alternatively, you can do this as a pulse. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sets of 10 to 20, and I would suggest keep your set range to 2 or 3 depending on your fitness. Okay, now if you're wanting to make that more difficult, you can bring your hands up here or here. There gives you a little bit more balance, there doesn't. Okay, and again, that just increases the reliance on your stability muscles or stabilizer muscles. Now, if you're wanting to make that more difficult, you can lift up one leg or the other. Okay, you should alternate these between 5 and 10 seconds. Notice you'll get that urge to want to sag. If you start to sag, sit your butt down, okay? Otherwise you can damage your back. So up here, here, and you can do this as a pulse as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can do it as a hold, as I suggested, range 30 to 60 seconds. Okay, so moving on to our next exercise, something very basic. Again, lower back and glutes. Your hands can be here, thumbs up out here, feet at about hip width. And this is a basic Superman. Okay, up here, hold for 20 to 60 seconds, depending on who you are, depending on your capability, or you can pulse. 1, 2, 3. I prefer the hold, but it's up to you. And again, your rep range to 10 to 20, okay? This, for obvious reasons, is called a Superman. Alright. From here, another variation of this, okay, is alternating arm and leg, working your stabilizers, glute, okay, and obviously your stabilizing chain. Arms not here, okay, right leg out, that can go at a pretty much vertical to your hip. Left hand though, just take it slightly out, point it towards 1 o'clock. Sorry, 11 o'clock on the clock. Drop it down, knees, hip width, hands, shoulder width, and here. And down. Here, 1, 2, down. Up, 1, 2, down. Rep range, 10 to 20, 3 sets. Once again, I'm just going to get rid of this, throw it into the garage, and it's not going away. And I'm back. Alright, so remember, hands, shoulder width, knees, hip width, thumb out to 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock, leg going straight back from the glute, like so. Okay, next exercise, is your basic crunch. Now, before you get onto your crunch, make sure your belly button is sucked into your spine, and this gap here that exists, people who've danced will know it's called a sway back. There's a bit of a gap or a curve in your lower back. You want that back to be flat while you're doing this exercise. That's engaging the lower parts of your abs. Okay. Also, tongue on the roof of your mouth when you're doing this to engage your neck muscles. I prefer not this, okay, which is a short pulse. I prefer a longer pulse from ground up. Tongue on the roof of my mouth and with a good range of motion. Now you will see people doing a whole lot of this stuff, okay? If you don't have the strength in your core, that's dangerous. Also, it engages your hip flexors and your glutes and a whole lot of dangers that you don't need to strengthen your core. So from here, tongue on the roof of your mouth. Forward and back. If you do have a weak neck, you can put a couple of fingers behind your head, do it like so. All the way back, all the way up. If you do have a Swiss ball, you can do it with an increased range of motion beyond that flat plane. Okay, so again, in this case, a higher work rate, a higher rep rate, I would say 20 to 30 depending on your fitness. Okay, once again, tongue roof of your mouth and up, down. About a 2-second hold. 1, 2, down. Keeping my belly button flat. Alright, now on the keeping your belly button flat, working your lower abs is something that people often forget about. So here's an exercise for that. Flatten fingers. If you want to use this as a reminder, put your fingers just underneath that gap in your lower back. Knees to 90 degrees, so you can see the 90-degree angles from here. Keeping that flat, drop down, up, 1, 2, down, 1, 2, up, 1, 2, down, 1, 2. This is quite hard. Some of you will see this happening, your hips will be going and creating this movement. You want to keep that flat. There, here, and down. For those of you who have more strength, in other words, if you're an active athlete, you can lengthen that out. Okay? And that changes the range of motion to be more difficult. All right. Okay. So from there, our next is just a basic prone hold or a plank. Okay, and again, you can do this on your knees, but making sure that your core is engaged. See, my belly's not engaged. It is now, and my elbows are in front of my shoulders. But really, a prone hold should be here. Back should ideally be as flat as possible. I can't check it. Normally I get someone else to check it. Head not here. Head up. So you're keeping your spine aligned. Okay? Now there are variations on this. You can lift up one side or the other. I wouldn't suggest that unless you've got experience. But holding this for 30 to 60 seconds, 3 repetitions. And as I said, it is known as prone hold or a plank. From here, move on to the side. Elbow comes directly up from the shoulder. My hips, my knees, my ankles, and my shoulder are all in alignment. And I raise myself off the ground. Now this is a more advanced movement. So for most of you, 5 to 10 seconds might be a challenge. Okay, you can do that like this. Again, try and keep your head aligned if possible. Okay, there are pulsing exercises you can do. I wouldn't suggest it. Hold of 30 seconds at max unless you're an athlete. Okay, now I drop down. Okay, and then I swap sides. Now for this you can give yourself a little bit of a break by doing that or this. Okay, just to hold yourself up. Okay, And notice when I hop down, I don't just go poof. Okay, I'm coming up here. I can use that as support just to take the tension off my back. Same on the other side. Ankles, knees, hips, shoulders in alignment. Elbow coming straight out from the shoulder. Coming up. Put my arm up for balance. I can pulse. Again, if you haven't done it before, don't. And that's for around 30 to 60 seconds. You can see with my breathing, even that's a little bit challenging. Hand down, come off. I can take a bit of pressure off by changing that with my foot or my finger. But I prefer you to do 5 seconds with a solid side hold rather than 30 seconds with the foot down, because it's usually crap form. Alright, so we drop down. Okay, that's it. My wife's grimacing at me, she thinks we've gone on for far too long. And yeah, hopefully we'll be seeing you in the offices sometime in the next month or so. See you guys.